Hello, welcome back. I know it's been a while. My mental health has been in a fairly bad state, but I'm okay, and I'm here with you today, and I'm grateful. Today, I wanted to talk a little bit about meditation. I have been meditating for about a decade. I started practicing meditation and Qigong because psychiatric medication didn't work on me. I was seeing a psychiatrist and a psychologist. The psychiatrist kept giving me medication for anxiety, depression, and ADHD. But none of these medications had any effect on me. Well, some of them had bad effects on me. I got some very bad side effects, but none of the medications I took had the intended beneficial effects on me, and I didn't know why. And my psychiatrist didn't know why either. And I was afraid that he would think I was faking, pretending that the medicines didn't work, or deciding that they didn't work before I had given them any time to actually do anything to me. But he did not think I was faking. He understood that I was telling the truth when I reported that none of these medicines helped me. And he was frustrated for me. And he told me that he wanted me to get some genetic tests done to find out if there was anything wrong with my metabolism. I wasn't able to get the gene testing done because it was too expensive. And I had to leave that psychiatrist for insurance reasons. So that was the end of my psychopharmacological journey, one which I had been hesitant to take for most of my life. Because I could not medicate, I chose to try and meditate. And I began very simply, and it has helped me a great deal. That doesn't mean that I never have mental health problems, that all my anxiety and depression are gone. What it means is that I have improved my attention. and I am better at centering myself. And I have had a number of epiphanies about peace. When I first began meditating, I thought that it was reasonable to expect that once I got good at meditating, and once I felt like I knew what I was doing, I would be able to command my attention at all times. I would never be distracted. I would never be anxious or depressed. But this isn't the case. At least not for me. And as a disclaimer, everything that I'm going to tell you today about meditation applies to me. And it might apply to you. But I want to make sure that you remember that I'm not talking about all meditation for everyone. Everybody's meditative journey is different. How meditation works for you will depend on a variety of factors. I'm not working from a script today, so I may forget some things. If you have any questions at all about meditation or Qigong or breathing or inner peace, leave your questions in the comments and I will attempt to address them as best I can. So, what I discovered about meditation is that, again, for me, it wasn't about controlling my feelings. It was about allowing my feelings. I don't talk to people very much. But on the rare occasion that I have spoken with someone about meditation, the few people I have spoken with have all said the same thing, or a variation of the same thing. And that is, I can't meditate because my mind is always racing. I don't know how to quiet my thoughts. One person even said, I can't quiet my thoughts. And what I mean by that is, he told me he couldn't allow himself to quiet his thoughts. He needed his racing thoughts, the chaos in his mind, the clamor. This is a mindset that I imagine many people have. The cacophony in your mind, the war of your thoughts. So familiar that it can be hard to understand or even imagine how to engage with it in any way other than allowing it to overwhelm you. But there is another way. The kind of meditation that I practice might best be called Vipassana. And when I started out, I didn't look for any particular meditative tradition. I didn't know anything about one point meditation or other cultures' ideas about how to meditate. I decided I was going to develop my meditation myself. I was going to do what was best for me. And I didn't know anything about how to research meditation. I've since learned that the kind of meditation I practice is a lot like, or perhaps most like, Vipassana. But I don't intend to be a Vipassana teacher. I don't pretend to know everything there is to know about one point meditation. I just wanted to mention Vipassana and one point meditation because some of you who are at all familiar with either of those things may recognize some ideas in my meditation practice that are similar to ideas in the Vipassana tradition. Now, what I mean by all that is the way I meditate is first and foremost, I allow my thoughts to raise. That's the answer to the question, what do I do about these racing thoughts? You do nothing. You allow them to race. See, racing is what thoughts do. That's how they manifest in your mind. Like a river tumbling over rocks. When you meditate, if you want to meditate the way I do it, allow that clamor to go on while you sit apart from it. You don't need to assess every thought that enters your mind. You don't need to ask yourself, am I doing this right? Is this working? Every time a thought enters your mind from that rushing river, bring your focus back to one thing. I focus on my breath. Every time an errant thought intrudes upon my concentration, I focus on my breath. And it will happen. Distraction will begin to happen. Feelings will emerge. As you begin focusing on one thing, and as you stop focusing on the mad rush of your thoughts get louder, and it can be harder to meditate. But one thing you will find as you continue bringing your focus back to your breath is that meditation is not sitting still and doing nothing. It is active. You are always bringing your mind back to your breath or to body sensations, how it feels to be where you are, to sit where you are sitting, how it feels when you breathe, any sensations in your body. You might want to focus on a sound, like a mantra. Some people do that, but I don't. If that works for you, excellent. There's no wrong way to do this. There is no judgment. There's no reason to stand up from a meditation session and say, I failed. It's not a competition. You're not trying to get better and better every time so that eventually you can be the best. That isn't what this is. It's just about guiding your attention moment to moment. In this moment, can you guide your attention for just this point in time? And you can, even if your thoughts are going wild in your mind. So, if you will, meditate for just a moment with me now. Sit somewhere comfortable. You don't have to cross your legs. Just sit naturally in a place where you probably won't be disturbed. Put your hands however it feels most comfortable to put them. You don't have to do this with your fingers. That's a very specific thing. There's a reason that people do that. And if you don't know what the reason is, then it's not necessary for you to put your hands in any specific posture. Just sit comfortably. Put your hands however it feels comfortable for you to put them. And breathe normally. Close your eyes. You can breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. Or in through your mouth and out through your nose. Doesn't matter. Breathe in a way that is normal for you and pay attention to your breath. Be aware of your racing thoughts and let them race. It might be a thought about something that you have to do later, or a regret about something embarrassing that happened to you a long time ago. It might be a movie quote or lyrics from a song. Let these thoughts roll by. You don't need to inventory them. You don't need to ask yourself, is this a good thought? Is this a bad thought? They're just things that are happening. Just like your breath. You are a person with thoughts in your head. And now you're going to focus on breathing. That's all. When you feel those thoughts trying to crowd in on your attention, go back to your breath. Focus on your breath. And you will begin to realize, or you may begin to realize, that your racing thoughts don't need you. You aren't consciously creating the noise of your thoughts. You're not directing that whitewater flow. It's happening no matter what you want, no matter how you feel, no matter where you are or what's happening around you. Your thoughts do not need you. Your thoughts are not you. What is? Come back to your breath. The ego can disappear. The self can be revealed as an illusion. If this is what you want, this is what you can work toward. But it is possible to want nothing from what you're doing. Nothing but what you already have. Whoever you are, wherever you are, what matters is directing your attention to your breath in this moment, right now. Can you focus on your breathing? Yes, you can, and you are. And maybe you will have an epiphany about the nature of the self. Maybe you will realize that inner peace is not something that you can find outside. You have peace all the time. Maybe you will begin to understand that if you can only have peace when there is nothing else going on, then you can't have peace when it's the most important. Peace is a choice you can make, even if you don't feel peaceful in the moment. Maybe something like any of those things will occur to you. Maybe nothing will. Focus on your breath. Anytime a new thought emerges and seems to scream to you, assess me, judge me. Am I a good thought? Are you bad for having me? Are you failing to meditate? Come back to your breath. Your attention is the most important thing that you have, it is even more important than time. Because if you have all the time in the world and no ability to pay attention, then all that time will be meaningless. In this moment, in this second, you're directing your attention to your breath. That is where you are right now. This moment is where your life is happening. The past does not exist. The future hasn't happened yet. The only things that are happening, including you, are happening now. Maybe you meditated with me. Maybe not. Maybe you will try meditation, and maybe you won't. Whatever the case, here at the end of this video, I wish you peace. And I wish you attention. Thank you for watching, listening. Again, if you have any questions, or if you want to tell me something that I've done wrong in this video, or something that I said that was helpful to you, leave any comments for me. Any comments you have, and I will attempt to address them. Until next time, thank you. And I will see you in the next video.